Not sure where to go, or what to see? Then, let's explore Sydney. Keep watching and we'll show you the top self-guided day plan so that you can see the best attractions, at your own pace, for free. We'll also show you the best time to travel here. Save time and money by rolling with Tour Bird Buddy. We do all the hard work for you. To explore more cities, be sure to subscribe. Awesome. Let's roll. This tour is best. If only have a day. A full 9-hour day. The next day plan is Sydney Harbour highlights. You'll need about 8 hours to enjoy this. Our checkout. Darling Harbour attractions. About 7 hours is ideal for this tour. Maybe you'd rather. Historic Sydney. About 7 hours is ideal for this tour. The next day plan is ARTY Sydney. Not so long, we recommend 5 hours for this tour. Our checkout. Kid-friendly attractions. A full 9-hour day. Let's look at If Only Have a Day. A busy day spent exploring must-see attractions including Bondi Beach, Sydney Harbour Bridge, and Royal Botanic Garden, Sydney. The sweeping white sand crescent of Bondi is one of Australia's most iconic beaches. Next to Sydney Harbour Bridge. Iconic structure opened in 1932, offering a bridge climb and the pylon lookout, hosting exhibitions. Next stop Royal Botanic Garden, Sydney. Harbourside haven for city wildlife with a rose garden, fernery and Jurassic jungle for kids. Then on to Sydney Opera House. Landmark, skyline-dominating arts centre for opera, theatre, music and dance, plus guided tours. Next to St Mary's Cathedral, Sydney. Gothic-style Catholic cathedral built of local sandstone from 1821 to 1928, offering mass and exhibits. Move on to Sydney Tower. Landmark building, opened in 1981, with a 4D cinema, observation deck and outdoor viewing platform. And then Darling Harbour. Waterfront destination housing many of Sydney's major attractions and hosting large-scale events. Let's look at Sydney Harbour highlights. A day soaking up the top sights along sun-splashed Sydney Harbour. Harbourside haven for city wildlife with a rose garden, fernery and Jurassic jungle for kids. Move on to Mrs. Macquarie's chair. Sandstone bench carved by convicts in 1811 for the then governor's wife, offering harbour views. Then on to Sydney Opera House. Landmark, skyline-dominating arts centre for opera, theatre, music and dance, plus guided tours. Then on to Museum of Sydney. Modern museum preserving archaeological remains of Australia's first government house built in 1788. Then on to the Rocks. The Rocks is a neighbourhood of historic laneways in the shadow of Sydney Harbour Bridge. Next to Sydney Harbour Bridge. Iconic structure opened in 1932, offering a bridge climb and the pylon lookout, hosting exhibitions. Let's look at Darling Harbour attractions. A day of big-time attractions in one of Sydney's bustling waterside entertainment hubs. A museum and collection of 10 historic vessels and 55 smaller boats offering onboard tours and cruises. Then on to Australian National Maritime Museum. Harbourside attraction with naval vessels, a replica of Cook's Endeavour and temporary exhibitions. Next to Chinese Garden of Friendship. Walled Chinese garden featuring pavilions, exotic plants, ponds and waterfalls, plus a tea house. Next stop Paddy's Markets. Large, time-tested marketplace with an eclectic array of goods such as souvenirs, clothes and produce. Next stop Powerhouse Museum. Founded in 1879, this museum has state-of-the-art exhibitions on futurology, transport and ecology. Let's look at Historic Sydney. A jam-packed day exploring Sydney's rich, rakish past and colourful tapestry of cultures. Gothic-style Catholic cathedral built of local sandstone from 1821 to 1928, offering mass and exhibits. Move on to Hyde Park Barracks, Sydney. Former prison providing a glimpse into the lives of convicts and orphans who dwelt there in the 1800s. Then on to Museum of Sydney. Modern museum preserving archaeological remains of Australia's first government house built in 1788. And then Justice and Police Museum. Set in an 1890s police station, this interactive museum explores Sydney's criminal and forensic past. Next stop Government House, Sydney. This 1800s mansion is the official residence of the New South Wales Governor and offers house tours. Let's look at ARTY Sydney. A leisurely day exploring some of the city's most celebrated art museums and galleries. Contemporary, modern and indigenous art displayed in a classical-style building, founded in 1871. Next to Angel Place birdcages. Forgotten songs, an art installation of 50 hanging cages and the sounds of birds lost to the city. And then Museum of Contemporary Art Australia. Cutting-edge Australian and international modern art housed in a grand, waterside Art Deco building. Then on to S. H. Irving Gallery. Public gallery hosting rotating shows of historic and contemporary Australian art in an 1856 building. Let's look at kid-friendly attractions. An action-packed day of kids' play, with sights including clownfish and kangaroos. Glass viewing tunnels allow patrons to observe Australia's freshwater and marine aquatic environments. Next to Circular Quay. Circular Quay is a harbour in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia on the northern edge of the Sydney Central Business District on Sydney Cove, between Bennelong Point and the Rocks. Move on to Taronga Zoo, Sydney. Harbourside animal attraction with over 340 separate species and a ferry service to the city centre. Move on to Sydney Tower. Landmark building, opened in 1981, with a 4D cinema, observation deck and outdoor viewing platform. The most popular travel time in Sydney is December. The temperature ranges from 25 to 18 degrees Celsius. Yearly events. Sydney Festival is in January. Lesbian Mardi Gras is in February-Mar. Sydney Film Festival is in June. Check the video description below for weather tips, more events and links to rewatch a day plan. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe so that you always go the best way for the best day. Oh, and help planning your trip, check the links in the video description below.